Hi everyone, welcome to a very special edition of News Dabs with Jimmy Young. This week on location in Washington, D.C. for the Pro-Cannabis Media Group and ProCannabisMedia.com. It is the annual celebration of the lobbyist here in Washington, D.C. The National Cannabis Industry Association is the group of lobbyists that works the hallways and offices here in our nation's capital, trying to advance all things having to do with cannabis. One such thing is opening the banking industry to the cannabis business. It's called the Safe Banking Act, and Ed Perlmutter, a Democratic congressman from Colorado, is the author of that bill.
I have been working on the SAFE Act. We've called it a couple of different things over time. This is the 7th year that we've introduced it, and for 6 years we didn't get a single hearing. I would bring it up and say, we need to advance this because there's so much cash in this business that for tax purposes or a whole variety of purposes, but particularly public safety.
This is as close to a major change in cannabis policy in the U.S. since 1973 with the Controlled Substances Act. As part of the NCIA's lobby days this week, they presented a panel to hundreds of people who packed a room in the Longworth office building on Capitol Hill. Many were there to hear Perlmutter's enthusiasm for the movement on this bill.
Prohibition is over, okay? And this particular bill is sort of the tip of the approach that we're all taking. There are a number of bills circulating in the Congress, but the SAFE Act is the one, obviously, with a lot of business interests, banking community, the insurance community, the real estate community behind it.
The panel discussion that followed featured Gail Rand, CFO of Forward Grow, a medical dispensary from Maryland, Becky Dansky, the executive director of the Safe and Responsible Banking Alliance, and Tanner Daniel of the American Bankers Association.
So it was getting to the point where the number of states that were, again, with the Colorado Bankers Association advocating this for a very long time, it just had reached a tipping point. I will also add, the Democrats kind of taking control of the House helped a little bit as well, because there was, just a lot of, that kind of provided a path forward for us to chime in. But again, we were hearing that we polled our members, 99% of all of our members, across the board, are supportive of what's in safe banking.
So we do have a bank in Maryland. There's primarily one bank that is banking the entire industry in Maryland. And I was pretty excited, to say the least, when we got this bank. I thought it was a crucial part of not just the safety that I was going to be dealing with personally, but also I think just legitimizing what we were doing, which was making medicine for the patients in Maryland.
Dansky and I sat down for a future In the Weeds podcast, and I explained that former Congressman Barney Frank told us at NCIA that he is confident that this is the year that the banking industry will start to accept cannabis business. I really believe you're going to at least see the banking open up in 2019. Do you agree with that optimism?
I do. If we all do what needs to be done. That's what I would say. In terms of where we are at the House vote, I think that getting 200 co-sponsors is a realistic goal. Right now, we have, I think we can safely say that we're over 250 yes votes. The closer we can get that to 300, the stronger our case when we turn to the Senate.
Right.
There are a number of Republicans who support this bill. There are two have actually led the charge on it, and that is Representative Stivers and Representative Davidson, both from Ohio. Neither of them support full legalization of marijuana for adult use, but they both say we have medical in our state. This is an issue in our state. This has nothing to do with your position on cannabis. This has to do with public safety, and that's where we're getting a lot of Republicans is they represent a state where this industry is operating already.
Yep.
And they realize that the banking, whether or not you support it, the banking needs to be addressed.
So we have a bipartisan piece of legislation that, with your advocacy, the advocacy of the financial services industry, we're seeing growing. And hopefully we'll see this bill come to the Rules Committee. I also sit on the Rules Committee within the next month.
One step, one congressman at a time, and the new normal becomes closer and closer to reality. The Safe Banking Act passage will certainly be a celebration for all these lobbyists here in Washington, D.C. Reporting for the Pro Cannabis Media Group, I'm Jimmy Young for ProCannabisMedia.com.